Sit. Sit. Boo. Training's going really well. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Should we try again? You can't do paw when you're lying down. Up again. That's it. Come closer. Come closer. Excuse me. Look. Here she is. Paw. 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 Look at this. Paw. Paw. This. Paw. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You got it. Paw. Come here and say hello. Don't be all about the treats. That's rude. Come and say hello. So she's grown. There you go. Lie down then. That's it. They're all gone. They're all gone. That's your lot. Kiss. Kiss. Kisses, please. So I thought I would do a little update today on Boo because a few of you have asked on Instagram how she's getting on, how we're finding life with a giant puppy. Don't you go anywhere, I want you to be in my video. A few of you have asked how we're finding life with a puppy, especially such a big puppy, and 4 kids, and just life in general. So I thought I would just do a little update on how she's getting along and how everything's been going for us. Before I start though, I wanted to say this isn't quite the video I had intended to film today. We have been struck by the delightful back to school germs, and both Aiden and Marnie have come down with tummy bugs, and we've all got a bit of a cold as well, so it's just been not the best weekend when it comes to that kind of thing. And it's just typical, isn't it? You're busy and you've got stuff to do, and the last thing you want is for everyone to be sick. But we go on holiday in a few weeks, so I'm kind of just glad it's now and not in a few weeks' time. There's no more treats, they're all gone. You need to get over that. No, they're all gone. Look, see? All gone. Down you get, you're not allowed up there. So I had an entirely different video planned for today, but with Marnie being up most of the night, not last night, but the night before, and Aiden, he was fine this morning. He went off to school and he was absolutely fine. And I just got a call from the school that he was not feeling very well, so he's been sent home this morning as well. So I haven't been able to finish the video I was intending to do, so I thought instead I would do this because it's one that I wanted to do anyway. And if I go a bit quiet on here and I don't finish my September uploads, which would be my worst nightmare, once I've committed to something, I cannot stand to not see it through. But if I do for some reason not upload for the rest of the week, I'll update you obviously, but you'll know it's because I've gone down, man down. No, that's my cardigan, definitely not for chewing. So back to Boo. She is doing really well. She's growing, as you can see, she's growing. I keep saying this to people, but I feel like every time I go to bed and come down in the morning and see her, she's grown. She's absolutely massive. Obviously, we knew she was going to be absolutely massive and that she was going to grow quickly. She's probably now not far off the size of our full-grown Labrador. And no, not the camera, Boo. Sorry, that will have moved now, that's annoying as well. And there's a coffee cup up there, which I should have moved, never mind. Let's put you back where you were. That's about right. Don't hit the camera. Obviously we were well aware she's going to be a big dog. If you haven't seen my previous videos about Boo, I will leave a link for you, but she's a Saint Bernouthie, so she's a cross between a Saint Bernard and a Newfoundland. If I can find it, I did have a photo of her parents, so I'll pop that up on the screen if I can find it so you can see them. But basically her mum was quite a small Saint Bernard and her dad was a massive Newfoundland, so she'll be somewhere between the two. She won't be huge like her dad, but she's certainly a big girl. That is the camera. No. So she's 4 months old now, and the amount she's grown since we got her at, how old was she? Nearly 9 weeks when we got her. It's hilarious. She's massive. Just, oh great, now she's got it down. Sweet toy. You are a nightmare to film with. Can you chew it and not the squeaky bit? It's her favourite toy. I did a vlog actually where we went and bought her a toy, and it's safe to say that this is her favourite one that we chose for her. It's a squeaky duck. So how has it been bringing a giant panda into our house? There have been moments, don't get me wrong, where it's been a bit intense, shall we say. She's quite a houseful And she does tend to have a funny 5 minutes twice a day. So once in the morning, just before her walk, and once around tea time, where she just likes to tear around. And she's not the fastest creature in the world, as you can imagine, because of her size. She's not particularly speedy, but when she does run at you, it's quite intimidating because there's a lot of her. And so far, touch wood, we've successfully trained her not to jump up. She will occasionally, she jumps up on my mum sometimes when my mum comes over, because she gets excited to see her, and she might jump up when new people come over, but she's very good now if we tell her no, or we say which is her kind of command not to do something, and that's like generic for anything she's not supposed to do. Right, Boo, listen, that's going to be really distracting for everybody apart from you, so I'm going to take it. Boo, let me have the duck, and I'm going to chuck it over there, and you can go out there. Drop the duck. So that was our priority with training. Obviously with kids, little ones, we didn't want her jumping up and being really boisterous with them. So that was that and toilet training was our real priority. So she's clever, she seems to have got that. She doesn't jump up anywhere near as much as she did at first. When we first had her, she was jumping up on us all the time. She will, if we're sat watching TV and she's next to us, she will jump up on our laps if she needs the toilet. That's her way of telling us that, let me out now please. So that's okay, we kind of learned that that's what she does. Boo, hang on, I'm just going to put her outside with her duck and let her play with it out there. Come on. Okay, so toilet training has been a little more tricky. She's quite good, but we do have to keep on top of it. I say we, poor Dan. It's Dan that gets up with her every morning. If he doesn't get up by 6:30, then she will have an accident, but that is normal puppy territory, isn't it? But she's generally good. However, we do leave the door open, the side door to the yard if we're in, so she can just take herself out there and have a wee, and she knows that that's what she does, so she doesn't have accidents during the day because the door's open. But as it gets colder and the weather turns, obviously we're not going to be able to do that, so it will be trickier. I think we may have made it more difficult for ourselves in the long run. I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. She rarely has an accident in the house in the daytime, unless I've had to go out for a good few hours at a time and haven't managed to get her to go before I leave. Then there's a chance she might have had an accident, but it's rare. So she's been pretty good. Sleeping wise, she's really good actually. There was a couple of weeks where she would get upset because she prefers to sleep on a cold floor. I think she's so furry and such a big girl. I think she doesn't like to sleep on carpet. I think she gets quite hot and she likes to be able to put her belly on a cold tiled floor, so she settles much easier in the kitchen. So we couldn't have her up with us, for instance, in the bedroom because it's carpet, and she just wouldn't settle. She'd just keep getting up and pacing around. So for a few weeks, I can hear it, she's got my mop. I'll have to go and check her in a minute, so I'll wrap this up. But for a few weeks, she would get upset when Dan tried to come to bed, so Dan slept in the kitchen with her on a camping bed for the first few weeks just to get her comfortable, so she knew we weren't going anywhere, that we were still with her, and she then would sleep through the night. So a couple of weeks later, he then used to stay with her until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, and he'd doze off himself down here. Then he'd come up to bed while she was asleep and then come back down in the morning. And she seems to have accepted that that is the way it goes and that we do come back, we're not abandoning her, and that seems to work. She doesn't pine or cry in the night unless she needs the toilet. It seems to have resulted in her sleeping mostly all the way through the night without waking up and getting upset, so that's great as well. Is there anything else I wanted to update you on? Oh, she eats twice 2 meals a day. We've just recently updated her food intake, so instead of 3 smaller portions, she now has 2 bigger portions. Dan had done some research and that's the way they advise as they get that little bit older, so that is what she has per day, and she's certainly growing, so there's definitely no lack of food. I am limiting what she has in terms of scraps because I don't think she had an upset tummy, but it definitely wasn't agreeing with her, shall we say, as much as just having her kibbles. We noticed when she was just eating her kibbles and we were quite strict, her movements were acceptable acceptable. Whereas when we started being a bit more relaxed about giving her scraps from the kids' plates and things like that, they weren't so great. So I'm not giving her as many treats in that sense. She has her puppy treats that we give her for training and things, but I'm trying to knock the scraps on the head, which is probably for the best anyway. That's the other thing in terms of training that was really important to us because of her size, is making sure that she doesn't beg for food. Most importantly, doesn't climb up onto the table when we're eating dinner, because she did that maybe 2 or 3 times when she was smaller, and she's not far off being the height where she could just walk past and take what she wants without having to get up on her back legs at all. So that's one that we've really had to nip in the bud, and she knows she's not to do that. She did once put her paws up on Marnie's high chair table, and yeah, although she's not daft, she's cottoned on where to sit at meal times. She goes straight to Marnie's high chair, straight underneath the chair, waiting for something to drop on the floor. So she's not dumb, that's for sure, but she's not jumping up on the table, which is the main thing. She's absolutely amazing with the kids. If you read about Newfoundlands and St. Bernards, actually, they're known as nanny dogs. Nana in Peter Pan, the dog, was a St. Bernard in the film and a Newfoundland in the original book. So they're really known as family loving, love kids, love to be around the family. And that's just how Boo is so far. She just loves being near them. Her and Marnie are thick as thieves. Where one is, the other one will follow shortly afterwards. They're very rarely apart. Marnie follows her everywhere. She just wants to be with us all the time, which is lovely. So I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to update you on about life with Boo so far. It's all been bonkers, as is the norm in this house anyway, so no change there. But yeah, she's lovely. We're loving having her around, and it's just lovely to have a dog in the house again. So if there are any specific questions you have that I haven't answered, sorry, my hair, let me know in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and sorry this video isn't the one I had intended to upload, but fingers crossed I managed to escape whatever this horrible bug is, and I will be able to go back to my uploads that I had intended later on in the week. So hopefully I will see you tomorrow, and I will continue for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one, hopefully tomorrow. Bye.